A good evening, our dear listener. Welcome to Explorer Online Radio, the home of reliable and authentic news. Today is the 13th of July, 2023, and bringing you the 9 p.m. news is Mronjo Shila. First, the headlines. Iranian President hails Museveni on anti-gay bill. Principal Judge Zeja calls for mediation to address case backlog. UPC Party President welcomes Museveni's commitment to ending election malpractices. And over 10 people killed in Sabasaba protests in Kenya. The news in details. The President of the Islamic Republic of Iran, His Excellency Ebrahim Raisi, hailed President Museveni for ignoring pressure from Western countries and their imperialism to sign the Anti-Homosexuality Law. President Raisi said that Western states are putting pressure on independent states by attacking the Family Foundation and using human rights as a tool. He said he appreciated that Uganda and President Museveni stood tall against such threats. He made the statements during a press briefing at the State House in Entebbe yesterday. Western countries are putting pressure on independent countries by attacking the Family Foundation, promoting the ugly phenomenon of homosexuality, the spread of extremism and terrorism, and the use of human rights as a tool, for which the development of cultural interactions and cultural cooperation between Iran and Uganda will be very effective in confronting the plots of the enemies of the two nations, he said. President Raisi appreciated the positions of Uganda in confronting extremism and terrorism and described the point of commonality between Iran and Uganda as the anti-colonial nature of the Islamic Revolution and the freedom and independence movement of the country. The principal judge, Justice Flavian Zeja, has called on the legal fraternity to adopt the mediation process as part of efforts to speed up the justice process in Uganda. While presiding over a 2-day mediation symposium organized by the Registry of Mediation at the Commercial Division at High Court, Piatto Restaurant in Kampala, Zeja revealed that the judiciary is set to promote mediation as an alternative dispute resolution mechanism to address the challenge of case backlogs. Judicial officers have been blamed for delays in clearing cases, but this is due to the limited number of judges who are not able to carry the massive load of cases alone, he said. He added that adoption of the plea mediation process will significantly decongest Uganda's prisons. It is said that over 35,000 criminal and civil cases are still awaiting trial in the courts across the country. He said mediation process will go a long way in decongesting the country's prisons as many suspects continue awaiting trial, which sometimes can take up to 4 and above years on trial. Uganda People's Congress Party leader Jimmy Akena has welcomed President Museveni's call for a probe into Electoral Commission malpractices that were witnessed in Bukedja District Chairperson's by-elections. While addressing the media at the UPC headquarters in Kampala on Wednesday, Akena said electoral malpractice in the country remains a real threat to the democracy and undermines the will of the people. Reflecting on the Oyam North County by-election that saw UPC win its 9th parliamentary seat, Akena asked the president to intensify the probe call with action. This is a clear manifestation that a lot of similar incidents of election malpractice and massive fraud have been happening to cripple democracy in Uganda. Museveni's call should be followed by serious action against these culprits, he said. The Lyantonde District Commissioner, Godfrey Mbetejerize, has directed the Lyantonde Hospital Administration to prohibit all health workers without uniforms from attending duty. He said this will help to curb the rising cases of soliciting illicit medical charges from patients. He made the directive on Wednesday during a meeting with all hospital staff to address complaints from the public over increasing cases of illegal medical fees allegedly charged at Lyantonde Hospital. Dr. Fred Tumusime, the in-charge Lyantonde Hospital, blamed the vice on the non-uniformed members of the public masquerading inwards as health workers. Mbetejerize promised that security officers will assist in the in-charge to implement the directive. The Rwenzori region's political leaders have requested that Prime Minister Robin Nabbanja permit the decentralization of projects so that local governments can carry out and account for initiatives within their districts. Richard Rabuhinga, the LC5 chairperson for Kaborole district, requested that the new gift projects be fully centralized to allow for full implementation of these projects. The request from Rwenzori region leaders comes after the districts of Kasese, Ntoroko, Kabarole, Chenjojo, among others, returned 80 billion Uganda shillings to the treasury, monies that were meant to implement key government projects and priority programs. Furthermore, Nabanja encouraged the leaders to exercise greater security precautions following the incident on Lubiriha Secondary School in Impondwe on June 16th, in which several pupils were killed by the Allied Democratic Forces rebels. And across borders, at least 10 people were killed and scores injured in Wednesday's protests in Kenya as demonstrators heeded opposition leader Raila Odinga's call to protest against the high cost of living. Police confirmed 3 deaths in Lolongo, 2 in Kitengela, and 1 each in Emali and Sondo, all shot dead in a day-long confrontation with police. Nairobi Regional Police Commander Adamson Bungei told a media briefing that more than 600 people were arrested and detained at various police stations in Nairobi during Wednesday's anti-government protests. He added that demonstrators blocked the main Mombasa road and vandalized metal grills separating the expressway. Later, on Wednesday afternoon, Odinga addressed a press conference from his Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Foundation in Nairobi and vowed to continue mobilizing protests to force President William Ruto to withdraw the Finance Act that spells out. This brings us to the end of the 9 p.m. news. Thank you for listening in to Explorer Online Radio. Have a blessed evening.